Good morning.
Senator, how are you doing there?
Senator, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks very much. And I really view this as a coming together, and a tremendous opportunity for both of us and a win-win scenario. I talk about the Guam community, and I don't distinguish between a military community and a civilian community. We are, the military is part of the Guam community. And the bulk of our people, most of our people, I mean, we have housing on base, but most of our people live out in the community. And so safety for the Guam community represents safety for the military members and the civilian employees of the military. And so this initiative is, I think, tremendous to improve the communication and the coordination between our first responders and to provide that kind of safety and security for our community.
Thank you very much, Phil. Again, on behalf of the Lieutenant Governor and our entire administration, I want to thank you, Admiral Payne, actually, I want to also, before I'd like to welcome not only Senator Alini Yamashita, but also our other elected official, Mayor Rudy Montanani, again, whose real estate, again in Jigo, holds a very important military base from the other branch of our armed forces. I think there's some Navy property there too as well. But as I acknowledge everyone here in Homeland Security and in areas that deal with law enforcement and security, I want to give special accolades to my Lieutenant Governor. It was, I would say, the first month or two of our administration where we had, again, a crisis that dealt with a terrific and terrible event in Japan. And when the first alarms went out in regards to the earthquake and the tsunami event, there was indeed a major concern by all those entrusted in public service, both in the federal side and the local side, about what that meant for our local community here and the possibility of a tsunami that would hit our shores within a few hours. That was 3 hours. From the point of view of this administration, we saw some of the weaknesses we had in terms of communications. Lieutenant Governor put this to the forefront to see what we could do to shore up these issues. We don't have to look too far back as well with the North Korean incident, where there was, again, the importance of dialogue and communications between the elected leaders of our civil government as well as those representing the federal government and our U.S. Armed Forces. Guam is in a very important strategic position, both for the standpoint of U.S. defense interests, but also it's an American community that seems to be in the middle of a very, very exciting area, whether it's a typhoon belt or sometimes the things that happen geopolitically around the world, or Mother Nature, such as an earthquake. So it's so important to ensure that our communication systems are first rate. And we also understood, and that's why when Ray gave me the original price tag, we were in a very difficult position because with our limited resources, we did not have the ability to put the type of operation that we could put up where we would feel comfortable with. And that is when we looked towards these options, and of course, our friends in the U.S. Armed Forces and Joint Region Marianas came up to us and worked with us in a resolution. And in the end, it's a win-win. We've increased our capabilities, and then at the same time, there has also been an add-on and a value-added addition to the U.S. Armed Forces and Joint Regions Marianas capabilities. Maybe in the years coming ahead, when sequestration ends and there are additional resources that are made available to my partner here in the military end of things, and maybe as things keep going along in Guam, we get surplus after surplus, we will have additional resources at our end as well. So we've put it all together, and we will even build even better communications systems in place. But with that, until that time comes, we've come up with a pretty darn good memorandum of agreement and an understanding. And this partnership, I do believe, once it's finally signed off on, will be to the betterment and the best interest of the people of Guam and the United States. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Phil. You know, as the governor and the admiral had indicated, we have a really good joint working relationship. You talk of joint regions, very honest. This is really joint island of Guam. We're really all working together. When we look at the needs of the Mercy units and the Guam Fire Department units, they're the same. They respond to, it doesn't matter whether they're sworn into the armed forces or they're civilians that need assistance, they respond. We've had great working relationships and we'll continue to do that. The mayor's office has a good working relationship with all the military branches. Excuse me. So what we're looking at right now is the fusion between the needs of not just the military and the government of Guam, but the needs of the people of Guam and all the people who reside here. Whether you're here for 3 years or you're here for your entire lifetime, the needs of our island are the same. So the beauty of this is that we've been having a working relationship. We've built a public safety team, and we just had a meeting today, as a matter of fact. And Roy Satsui was representing the Navy, was here as he usually is, and we have a really good working relationship. And this is what happens when we really come together and look at what the needs of our island are, as opposed to us and them. And there really is not that. And I really appreciate the Admiral's comments in that regard. And the governor hit the nail on the head with respect to the cost. Obviously, we are still struggling to pay past-due obligations. Everything from the public safety increases to refunds, retiree COLA. We're a lot of things we're still trying to catch up with. And this will go a long way, Admiral, in trying to make sure that we have a system we can rely on. There's a guy by the name of Brad Hookinson. I don't see him in the room, but I'm told that I know him. He's kind of the subject matter expert on this. He's been hounding on this issue for a long, long time, and he's been working with your counterparts as I have as well. But I want to thank everyone, including really quickly a few members of my staff. Dong Cho is a member of my chief of staff, Sheena Black and Desiree Bermudez, who have all been working on this as well. But the reality is this is a joint effort. It took a little bit longer than a year, but it came to fruition. I want to thank you guys for being receptive to the idea, and Governor for allowing this to be something that sometimes the government of Guam has been this thing, well, we've got to have our own. Well, in reality, we're a very small community, and we can use the same system. So thank you very much.